And this is how I usually start my process. I use engine degreaser. That's what you see dripping off here. First I use engine degreaser, let it kind of get all the grime off and everything. I already rinsed everything off and let it dry. So now it's just engine degreaser. Now, I'm not gonna rinse that off with water. I'm gonna hit it with brake cleaner. So what I'm gonna do is, as soon as this is done dripping, I'm gonna hit it with brake cleaner, then leave that on for probably about 20 seconds, then hit it with water. I don't like mixing engine degreaser and brake cleaner. It ain't gonna do nothing, but I just don't want to mess up any of these little rubber boots and everything back there. Too many solvents, you can make something kind of like weak a little bit. So I spray that brake cleaner on as this is dripping, spray that on, 20 seconds, hose it all down, take a good look at it, maybe add another coat of brake cleaner. Then I'm gonna start hitting it with the rag. I can hit it with a rag or a brush. Usually I hit it with a rag because I got these terry cloth rags that really get down in there pretty good. So this is the start of the process right here. Okay, so I'm finally done cleaning as much as I can clean on this front one here. Let me hit this light real quick. So yeah, so that's about as clean as it's gonna get. I gotta let it dry now. So I've wiped it down, done the most I can do on it. There's still like a little bit of grime and dirt in there. I mean, I could clean that out, I guess. I mean, because you want to get as much of this grime out as you can. I mean, because there's a little bit like right up inside of here. You see this piece up in here, that black stuff in there. See if I can get that out. Probably can't. Nah, it's not coming out. It's a little bit deeply embedded in there. But you want to get as much of this grime out as you can, because that's what I was trying to go for, that little grime up in there. But like I said, I've degreased everything, cleaned it as much as I can clean it. Now I gotta let it dry, mask everything off. I mean, I could just take the pads off and do it that way, but I'm not. I'm just gonna mask it off, paint whatever I can see, and then when I actually do a brake change, I can take it out and I can do the hand paint thing. I always, you know, touch up my pads and everything. Every couple of years, you know, you gotta touch the pads up, make sure they look good. But so far, that's what they're looking like. I'm gonna do driver's side tonight. I mean, passenger side tonight, driver side tomorrow, because I'm getting beat. Okay, so that's basically how it looks. I had to take the pads off. On the front, it's just way too much to mask. So I just took the pads off. And on the front, you'll take the front clips off there too. So I pulled my front clips out. I don't have to worry about the rear clips because I won't paint back there too much. I'm just gonna paint the actual caliper, this part right here. I'll paint part of the bracket, but I'm not gonna do the back part of the bracket. I don't have, it'll be covered up anyways. So this is how the contraption looks. Let's go get the paint. Let's get started. Okay, there it is right there. It's nice and shiny, super glossy. So I already got the paint coat on. I got the gloss coat on. This light keeps flickering. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit. I'm gonna go in here and cook me some dinner. I gotta let this sit for a while because this is like a lot. So I got that screwdriver in there holding it up. So I'm gonna go in here and eat me some dinner real quick. I'm gonna let this flash and I'll be back. Cause this is a lot. This is a lot of paint, man. And it's a lot more than the rear. The rears are pretty small. This is a lot. So this is gonna have to really cure. All right, there we go. It's done. This me and this damn light. So that's how it's looking right there. Looks a lot better than I thought it would be, especially with taking that thing halfway apart. But like I said, it's got the clear coat on it and it's nice and shiny and everything. If I see any imperfections in it, you know, the next time I do a brake job, I'll just, you know, take some of the paint it and everything. But you know, that's that one right there. That's the front one. And then like I said, here's the rear back here. So oh yeah, I'm about to slam this front tire back on real quick. And tomorrow I'll do the other side. Like I said, I at least want to have the passenger side done, so when I pull up it looks good. But I'm gonna have to smack this passenger side out the way, I mean driver's side out the way tomorrow. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I like that. I like that. It's gonna look real nice with them new wheels on there. Okay, so that's how they look, nice and clean. Like I said, I gotta end up doing all 4 of them like that. I mask everything off. So I mask everything off, you know, triple tape, make sure I get all my paperwork and everything, slap it all together. I can see a little bit right up under here. See, that's where a little piece of tape was right there. But what I'm gonna do with that is I can get a small paintbrush and I can paint around there and it'll match it. Like, I don't want to go through and spray, because if I spray, it's going to get all back in there. So I usually get my small paintbrush and I'll spray on the ground and I'll dab it in the paint and I'll just paint that like that. So it'll still have the same color. I just need a paintbrush to do that. But I'll make sure, you know, these things look super shiny, super professional. I got clear coat on them already. Clear coat. I got a little bit on the brake pad right there. That's cool because these brake pads are going to be replaced one day anyways. So it doesn't matter if it gets on your brake pad, as long as it's not like on your rotor. I have none on my rotor, as you can see. Turn it a little bit. Make sure you have no paint on your rotor. Just a little bit on the pad. That's fine. But yeah, that's how you got to make sure you don't get no paint on your slides, because if you get paint on that, I mean, then the brakes won't slide back and forth. But what I want to do is, when I swap out the brakes and everything, get the paint again. I'll paint on like a little piece of paper or something, and I'll get a paintbrush and I'll get down in there really good with a paintbrush to make sure I'll even all that color out. But for right now, this is how they'll look. You know, coming down the street, they'll look like this. So it'll look decent. You know, once I put the new wheels on, it'll look decent and everything. You don't want to make it look trashy. You don't want to overdo it. Got to just take your time, mask everything off, and that's how it'll look. It'll come out looking pretty clean. All right, there it is, all done. That's the back wheel right here. Rear passenger side looks pretty nice. Now we're gonna go to, you know, front passenger, and there's you go right there. So I got the red brakes on one side. As you can tell on the other side, these are still that color. And the one in the rear is worse, because the ones in the front I kind of cleaned when I did those. Man, look at how nasty that looks. See how dark that is? I mean, that thing is coated. Not even close to silver. You can see a little bit of silver shining through. I mean, them things are so dirty. Because I haven't done the rear since I bought this, because I had to do the fronts when I got the new rotors and everything. So that's why the fronts are a little bit better, but they still super dusty and dirty. But, I mean, you don't want to pull up on somebody looking dirty. You want to pull up looking clean, man. You want to pull up like pow. Because once I throw those new tires on there, man, you can't have that. Can't have it. When you pull up on somebody, you got to pull up looking nice. Can't have that dusty looking shit up in there. Look at that. Look how nice that rear one looks. Nice and shiny rear. Look at that. Now let me go show you this dusty rear over here so you can see the big difference. See, you can't put new rims on and put that shit right there. Can't do it. Got to take those off tomorrow.